Hey guys, welcome to the Uncreative Crafter. It is Sunday, June 28th. Today is episode 12, which will probably be titled something like, "Oh my god, I earned this Coke," or, I don't know, kitten play break. Ozzy the kitten decided for the first time, since we got him, that whatever I was doing at my desk was way more interesting than anything else in the apartment, and started being a big nutso and pretty much making it impossible for me to record. So we had to take a quick kitty break to wear him out. Fun thing about Ozzy may be a girl. We're not 100% sure. Orange tabbies are usually male 75 to 80% of the time. We are having some difficulty locating a key part, if you catch my meaning. So we are still not 100% sure on Ozzy's gender. So Ozzy might be a girl. Not that that matters, just thought that would be sort of a weird, interesting fact. He's a brat either way, boy or girl. Alright, so now that I've done this like 3 times, I guess let's get back on into it and hopefully, knock on wood, nothing else totally weird happens. Yeah, rainy day here in New Hampshire, good day to podcast. Yesterday was really nice and sunny. Went to the lake, did some knitting, which you've seen if you follow me on Instagram. I can be found mostly around the web as Storm Coast, with maybe a very few exceptions. Went to the lake to not bring sunscreen, because I know better, and I should have brought sunscreen. The bottoms of my legs are just lobster red. It's not good. Not good at all. Kids, wear your sunscreen. So, and Crazy Ozzy means that a lot of the time it's tough to really work on anything too complicated. Like, I finished my Multnomah. I have no idea when I'm going to block it, because you really need a dedicated spot where a kitten is not going to rip it up. And even if I cover it with a towel and, put heavy things on top of it, obviously that is just another thing for Ozzy to play on. So, most of what I've been doing has been pretty, not simplistic, but more on like the easy, can bring it to work or do it socially and not have to think about it too much. So, yeah, a couple of dishcloths I've finished. Don't mind the playing in the background. I would rather he play with his toys than any of the stuff on my desk. So, there may be a few bloopers from the other reels thrown in. Hi, Ozzy. There you are, you little bum. Okay. Oh, kittens. I would not make a good mom, let's put it that way. January 8th, which, again, I forgot to take the picture of the pattern and bring it. Yeah, that's going to blow it out. Dang it. So, in theory, you could see the pattern on this dishcloth. It's actually pretty similar to January 7th, to the point where I actually found one of my coworkers in the lunchroom, and I said, "Am I knitting the same pattern?" And I just didn't realize it. And she goes, No, they're slightly different. This one, the decreases are going this way, and this one, they're going that way. And so, thank goodness I didn't knit the same pattern again. It's pretty. It kind of reminds me of the star stitch, which, if you've ever done Holding Hands Feeding Ducks, I did that scarf a few years ago. It's got sort of a similar starbursty where you've got the decrease. Bless you. Allergic to podcasting time, I guess. Starbursty type look to it. So I finished January 8th, and then I was just going nuts with the white dishcloths. So you saw last week I stashed some bright, I think, peaches and cream, or sugar and cream, and I finished another dishcloth, which I thought I needed the pattern, and then once I got into it, I remembered that I know what I'm doing. So, this is the ball band dishcloth, which you can get this pattern for free. It's usually on the back of the ball band, hence ball band dishcloth. But I also have it in the Mason-Dixon knitting book, but I also just grabbed it online. So, I did the blue as the background color and the mint green as the blocks of color. And that is going to someone's bathroom, hopefully, as a lovely washcloth. bear with me. Playing with kittens makes you thirsty. So, like I said, I earned this Coke. Alright, so that's all that I've finished. I did weave in the ends on my mitered square blanket, but there's nothing new on that, so I'm not going to show it to you. I'm pretty sure it looks the exact same as it did last week. Still working on doing that swap with Iggy Star. I'm such a bum. The air conditioner was broken for about a week and a half, 2 weeks. So just the motivation to even look for yarn, let alone, weigh it out and ball it up and send it out, just was not there. But I am still working on that, I promise, and I hope to have that out to you in a couple of days. And so, yeah, and that will be fun. It'll give me a little bit more motivation to get things going back on that again. The air conditioner's fixed. Thank goodness. It's hard enough crafting with a kitten, let alone crafting with a kitten when it's 86 degrees in your apartment because the AC doesn't work. Not so much fun. So that's all I have for finished objects. I have a little bit in progress. I started another ball band. I had leftover yarn, and I thought I might as well do the contrasting one, so this is going to have the mint green as the main color, and the blue as the contrast. Not too far into it, about 2.5 repeats out of 11. So, yeah, got that started. That is my work project. The socks that I was working on last week are still on hiatus. I have not had brain to go back and try and rip the heel out and put the stitches back on the needle and so on and so forth. So use a lifeline, kids, is my recommendation for you. So I was hot. I was working on the dishcloth, but that was at work. I had the mitered square blanket, but I really didn't have anything to add on to it. So I started a new project. Let me grab it. So this is fun. This yarn is pretty old from my stash. It's actually from September of 2010. And this is some Araucania Ruca Solid, which is the sugarcane yarn. You may have heard of it. And I basically, the last day before our air conditioning was fixed, I said, I would like to do something with my time other than sit on the internet, but, I don't want to work on anything too hot or complicated. So out came the sugarcane. And I am using the Drop Stitch Scarf by Christine Vogel of Frazzled Knits. Hi, Ozzy. That's just my leg. Don't mind me. Did you want to come say hi? Hi. How are we doing? So I am working on that, and that's actually been pretty good. Once you learn the pattern, you know it pretty well. I've actually stopped using the pattern because I have it pretty well memorized. And that's been sort of a pleasant, please, no biting. No biting. You're supposed to be showing everyone what a sweet and lovable kitten you are, and it doesn't matter if you're crazy and you chew on my feet in the middle of the night. So that's what I've been working on. I did do a little bit of stashing, but not in the way that you might think. Hi. Oh, aren't you a brat? So, a friend of mine at work, her mom died, and she was getting rid of her stuff, and she had a lot of yarn that she'd bought, and obviously I can't take a lot of yarn right now. I don't have the space for it. Ozzy. Hi, baby. And so I said, hey, okay. I said, hey, show it to people, other than me first. Okay, not if you're going to go up on the desk. Hang on. I found a couple of things, though, that I took just because they were interesting. I don't know too much about the yarn. A lot of the labels have worn off. I guess she had it for a while, but my best guess is that this stuff is acrylic. And I guess she used a knitting machine, and she may have held a lot of the colors together, which is pretty interesting. But I did end up with a few things. I'm not going to show you everything. I'm just going to show you stuff that sort of gives you a sense of what it is. So, oh, look, it's a cone. How did that happen? So this is, I think, acrylic. I cannot use it for weaving. I did the tug test, and it will not hold up for a warp. But I might be able to use it for the weft. Yeah, Ozzy, what's going on out there? There's a fire truck or something. Nosy cats are nosy. And this says 100% acrylic. And there are some numbers in there that I don't know what they mean. Probably have to do with weaving that I just don't get. And then I also got a couple of partial balls and cones of what I think is probably pretty similar in sort of this interesting autumny, gray, white, brown, orangey color. So I thought that was kind of neat. And then the last thing that I grabbed was this really, it's like, it's not tulle, it's probably nylon, and something on my desk is stuck to it. So sort of this quirky pink stuff, which was sort of, I don't know, I don't even really know what this is. It feels interesting. So, you know, I didn't end up with too much. When am I ever going to use it if I'm not weaving, right? That's gonna, yeah. Oh, my Araucania is stuck to my Coke. Okay. This is what happens when you have a kid and you try to podcast and it's your third time, I guess. Things are weird. So, the hiatus, the stuff I'm not doing is the same stuff that I've not been doing for a while. Spinning, weaving, etc. I'm probably going to drop this segment, honestly, unless something new and fabulous gets in. What are you doing now? What are you getting into? I'm going to start having to do this in another room when my husband is home. I don't know. We'll talk a little bit about some upcoming stuff. I don't want to give too much away. I would like to have content for other blogs in case I don't finish anything. Tour de Fleece is coming up. Starts on July 4th. I have done the Tour de Fleece at least the past 2 years, maybe 3. How long have I had my wheel? I think it's only been 2 years. And I am considering doing it again this year. Ozzy, you know you are not allowed on the screen. You're driving me nuts today, Kat. So, yeah, Tour de Fleece, July 4th. I'm considering doing something with the drop spindle that I got at New Hampshire Sheep and Wool. The Contented Butterfly Farms spindle because it's so nice and light. And I actually I don't think I've ever finished something on a drop spindle. I've just sort of played around with it, so I thought that might be neat. I'd like to do more with the Russian supported spindle. Still not entirely sure I have the hang of it. Haven't really practiced since last time I video podcasted. And I'm also still not really sure the best way to store it. I went around town today a little bit and I looked for some tubes, like wine container tubes or like for your paintbrushes, and not really sure. What are you doing? Could not find a tube. So I'm just wondering how you store your spindles. The drop spindles are a little bit more hardy. I'm a little bit less worried about them. The Russian supported spindle with, the sharp tips on either end makes me a little nervous carrying it back and forth. So I just don't know the best way to do that. So if you have any tips, if you found a good spot, I tried a Pringles can and it's a little bit too short. My spindle is actually a foot long, so I'd need something a little bit bigger than maybe your average supported spindle would go into. If you have any tips on where to find that, I would appreciate it because I'd like to, take that around with me. It's a lot more portable than a wheel is. Also, I kind of wanted this to be a surprise, and then I thought better of it in case any of you guys were interested. I did sign up for a yarn club. I signed up for the Mad Color Fiber Arts. I think it's called like All Through Time and Space. It's the next upcoming yarn club. I am getting yarn, not fiber, just because spinning has kind of been on the back burner right now, and it's 3 months, and this happens to be a Doctor Who themed color extravaganza. I did buy from Mad Color Fiber Arts at New Hampshire Sheep and Wool, and she was really sweet, complimented her on her nerdy colorway names, and we talked about Firefly a little bit because the colorway I'd gotten was Fruity Odie Bar, which is a Firefly reference, and then she goes, "Oh, have you heard about my club?" Which I promptly forgot about, even though she does it with Stitched by Jessalou, and I have a Stitched by Jessalou bag. It is my main, small project bag that I use frequently and that I love. And I'm like, these two awesome things in one, I should totally sign up for it. Forgot all about it, and then thankfully I joined her Facebook page, or I liked her Facebook page, and she posted a reminder, so I did sign up for that. No regrets, right? I haven't done a yarn club before. I've done a fiber club, but I've never done a yarn club before. She does other nerdy type things. I think one of the upcoming ones is Lord of the Rings. I think there may have been like a Star Trek one in the past. Not really sure. But anyway, I'll post a link to that if that's something you're interested in. I think the first shipment comes out in July, and at the end of the 3 months, you also get a Stitched by Jessalou project bag, which, worth it. And I happen to grab, and of course, you know, my camera's gonna blow this out, but this is her business card. So if that's helpful to you, you know, you got a little bit of info on there about her. So that is a thing in my future. Then just a little bit of On the Edge, War and Peace. Haven't really gone to the gym, but I did read a little bit at the lake, and I have been getting myself to read a little bit at night, or, you know, if I'm taking a bath to help with my sunburn. I've been doing a little bit of reading in the tub, and I am up to 68%. I am officially over 2/3 of the way done, which is awesome. It's all downhill from here, right? And we're still in the war. I honestly don't know too much historically about the background of War and Peace. I feel a little like I should have gone in with a better historic understanding of what's going on. But this guy really does not like Napoleon, is what I can tell you. Reading some of the descriptions of the battles and the plans, like, obviously Napoleon being French, and this is a book about Russians, primarily, like, he does not like Napoleon. Also, new way to stay hydrated, anytime a Russian person speaks in French, take a drink. It can be water, but it happens a lot. It's happening less frequently now that, you know, the war is continuing, but there are characters still definitely speaking in French, which I thought was kind of funny, because they're kind of at war with France. Sometimes, not all the time. It's confusing. I'm probably making myself look like an uninformed idiot, but don't my glasses make me look super smart? I got some new glasses. I wasn't sure I loved the style. I found now that I have to wear eyeliner in order to look awake in the mornings. It's called faking it. So, anyway, that is War and Peace. I am chugging along through that, getting a little bit more done, so that is awesome. And then also, we went to Mount Washington 2 weeks ago, when I last podcasted wearing my Mount Washington hoodie. Last weekend, we went ziplining. We went down to Charlemont, Massachusetts, something like that, Massachusetts. Basically, it's, I think it's called the Berkshire East Canopy Tour, and you go ziplining, and they've got different levels of ziplining, and you can do, like, you know, a little small one, and then you can do bigger and bigger, and then you get to one called the Valley Jump. This is actually something I suggested we do, which, if you know me in person, I don't like heights. I'm a short person. If I were meant to be high up off the ground, I'd be taller. But I did say, you know, like, I'm willing to go ziplining. I'd like to try ziplining, do ziplining before I chicken out. And so my husband booked us a ziplining tour. I should have been more specific. I should have said, like, let's go ziplining on, like, a little tiny zipline first. But no, we just, like, it's go big or go home, apparently. Hi, again. I get lots of kitten visits today. Hey, baby. So, we went ziplining. Unfortunately, the weather was not really all that great. It was raining. They do let you go ziplining in the rain. Obviously not if there's a thunderstorm or lightning. They don't make you zipline then. But it was, you know, uncomfortable. I tried putting my contacts in, and one went in great and one didn't, because it's been a while since I wore contacts, and so I had to wear my new glasses, terrified of losing those on a zipline. But hopefully this isn't muffled by kitten. I actually have no idea where my microphone is right now. Hi. Hi. Okay. We're gonna maybe climb. I probably should not encourage this, actually. But whatever. Ziplining. Yeah, so we went in the rain. Oh, no, you don't, sir. Come on. Come on. Ooh, come here. You can come here. Okay, no, you can't. You can't. You are just a brat. Oh, you're such a brat. Let go of that. Let go of that. Stop it. Ziplining. There will be so much editing this week. Oh my god. So yeah, we had the stupid little things that you buy that, go behind your head so you don't lose your glasses, and ended up getting a new pair of pants from LL Bean, which were awesome because they were really lightweight, and even though we were wet the entire time, they dried out pretty quickly, and it wasn't super uncomfortable. I did not look fashionable, let's be honest, but I was pretty comfy. It was terrifying, I'm not gonna lie. I had a lot of trouble, hit a couple of trees on the way down, etc. Got hit in the face, I think, at one point with a branch. And then, they walk you up. The last one is the valley jump, which is actually a tandem, so you can race someone. So my husband and I went down at the same time. And basically what you do is you are ziplining from one mountain to another mountain. And it's called the valley jump. On a nice day, you are able to see all across the valley. It was very cloudy and foggy, so unfortunately we could not see that. For me, that was probably better because I could not see exactly how high up I was. I looked a little bit, but I was always afraid of my glasses falling off. And then you hike up, you actually are ziplining from one town to another town, which is pretty crazy. You hike up a mountain, it's pretty strenuous. And then you jump from the higher mountain back to the town that you started in. And then, theoretically, you take the chairlift down, but they were working on it by the time we were done. And just as we got back down to the lodge to pick up our stuff and go home, the sun came out. So, go figure. So it was a lot of fun. The weather was not ideal, and I wish they had been a little bit more flexible about rescheduling if the weather's yucky, but it was an interesting and fun experience. I will probably not do that again. You'd have to pay me a lot now that I know what it's like, but it was fun. Okay, Ozzy is chewing on my toes, and we need to work on appropriate play now. So, it gets done one stitch at a time, and I will see you guys in a couple of weeks. Thanks for watching. Bye.